Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Anthony Martial rejects loan offers from Newcastle and Tottenham. Anthony Martial wants to move abroad. Juventus, Sevilla and Barcelona are all linked. Fabrizio Romano said that Anthony Martial is not interested in going to a Premier League club, but he said that Martial still wants to leave Manchester United in this January transfer window. Recently, Martial denied claims that he refused to play in Man United's 2-2 draw against Aston Villa last weekend, but Ralf Rangnick came out and said that Martial refused to play against Aston Villa. By the way, Ralf Rangnick insists the fallout with Martial is now resolved. Martial's just come back from a knee injury. He's demanding more game time. He's getting nowhere near enough game time at Manchester United. Martial's been at Manchester United for 7 years. He's got a contract with the club until 2024. He's scored 79 goals in 268 games in all competitions. Manchester United paid an initial fee of 36 million for Martial from Monaco back in 2015. The best season he's enjoyed at Manchester United was his debut season under Louis van Gaal. Last year, Ralf Rangnick confirmed that Martial wants to leave Man United, as Martial did hold talks with Rangnick over his future, and towards the end of last year, Martial's agent confirmed that Martial wants to leave Man United this month. So that's the news on Anthony Martial. Man United could yet appoint their next manager this season. I think there's a very good chance that Mauricio Pochettino will be Man United's next permanent manager. It did say though Man United could miss out on Mauricio Pochettino, despite Pochettino being Man United's #1 target. The Telegraph said that Man United face competition for Pochettino. Reports from France said last week that Man United were in secret contact with Mauricio Pochettino, despite Pochettino not being Ralf Rangnick's preferred choice to take over at Manchester United. The Manchester Evening News said earlier on this season that Pochettino's move to Man United is almost done. Said Pochettino wants Man United and Man United want Pochettino, and he said Pochettino will leave PSG by June. It said PSG identified their replacement for Pochettino, and that's Zidane. It said Zidane agreed terms with PSG. I think Pochettino's got like 18 months left on his contract at PSG. I think he's won a French Cup with them. Revert back to earlier on this season, it said Man United were prepared to pay the 10 million compensation fee for Pochettino. Revert back to when Manchester United sacked Jose Mourinho. Manchester United should have got Pochettino then. but the club decided to go with Solskjaer instead. He's a good manager, Pochettino, even though he's hardly won anything. You know, he's proven in the Premier League, because before, Pochettino enjoyed a 5.5-year managerial tenure at Tottenham. Analysing the vast majority of his tenure at Tottenham, Tottenham were competing in and out of the top four. Back in 2018, he got Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final, and at one point when he was Tottenham manager, he almost won the league. Before Tottenham, he managed Southampton. He only enjoyed a short managerial tenure with them, but he still managed to guide Southampton to their highest ever finish in the Premier League. So they're the clubs he's managed in the Premier League so far, and before that he managed Espanyol. Last weekend, reports from Italy said that Manchester United approached Simone Inzaghi as the next manager. He said Atletico Madrid are also in for him. Simone Inzaghi is the manager of Inter Milan. Inter Milan appointed him in last year. He recently won his first trophy at Inter Milan. His contract at Inter Milan expires next year. Before Inter Milan, he managed Lazio. He also managed Lazio's youth. Erik ten Hag, you know, he could be Manchester United's next manager. Earlier on this season, it said Erik ten Hag was leading the race to become Man United's next manager. A lot of Manchester United fans would like to see him get recommended in. You've got to admire the work he's done at Ajax. You know, he's won a couple of titles with them. Back in 2019, he got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals. And I like the way he develops young players. His contract at Ajax expires next year. He's been Ajax manager for around 5 years now. Before Ajax, he managed Utrecht. Before then, he managed Bayern Munich's reserves. And before then, he managed Go Ahead Eagles. Manchester United are looking for the 5th permanent manager since Ferguson. Manchester United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson. You know, we sacked David Moyes after 10 months. Manchester United finished 7th under the David Moyes era. Then Manchester United sacked Louis van Gaal after like 2 years. Man United did win the FA Cup under Louis van Gaal. Then Manchester United sacked Jose Mourinho after like 2.5 years. Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United because he won 3 trophies in his first season. But the reasons it didn't work out under Mourinho is because he had bad disputes with the top players and bad disputes with the board, because the board didn't recommend the players he wanted to get in. And last year, Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Solskjaer was Manchester United manager for almost 3 years. His final game as Manchester United manager was the 4-1 defeat to Watford. Obviously, Man United have got Ralf Rangnick now as the interim manager. He's been Manchester United's interim manager for around 6 weeks now. Ralf Rangnick has endured a difficult start to life at Old Trafford. He's already under pressure. Earlier on this season, it said that Rangnick is already losing the dressing room at Man United, and it said that 17 Man United players are unhappy. But despite that, he said Rangnick will be backed by the Glazers this month. So when he first came in, it did say, you know, Rangnick's our interim manager till the end of the season, and it did initially say that he would continue in a consultancy role for a further 2 years. He won't get the consultancy role if Man United don't finish in the top 4. There's been some good performances under Rangnick. There's also been poor performances as well. Rangnick's lost 1 game so far as Man United manager. Man United lost to Wolves 1-0 at Old Trafford. That was the first time Wolves won at Old Trafford since 1980. I'm hoping we can win a trophy this season. Man United have not won a trophy since 2017. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Rangnick has made changes since he come in because earlier on this season he brought Ewan Sharp in as an assistant coach and analyst. He also brought Chris Armas in as an assistant coach, and he brought Saz Challens in as a sports psychologist. Before Man United, he was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. I can assure that Rangnick will not get the Man United job on a permanent basis. Will Manchester United make a signing this month? Well, we have been linked with a lot of players. Now, obviously, yesterday I gave you the news on Amadou Haidara. He said that Manchester United have verbally agreed a 33 million fee to sign Amadou Haidara. Ralf Rangnick held talks with RB Leipzig chiefs. Amadou Haidara has informed his close friends that he wants to join Manchester United, and Haidara mentioned that he dreams of playing in England and his favourite club is Manchester United. Newcastle have also been in for him. Amadou Haidara has a £33 million release clause. He's under contract with RB Leipzig until 2025. He's been at RB Leipzig since 2019. Before RB Leipzig, he had a loan spell at Liefering, and before then he was at Red Bull Salzburg. He's the age of 23 and he is a midfielder. Earlier on this season, Rangnick did mention that he wanted Amadou Haidara as his first signing at Man United. Rangnick knows the player well, so he's keen on a reunion. You know the news on John McGinn from Aston Villa. The Telegraph said yesterday that Man United target Aston Villa midfielder John McGinn in the summer transfer window. Aston Villa value John McGinn at £40 million. Sir Alex Ferguson and Darren Fletcher are admirers of the player. John McGinn has been at Aston Villa for 3.5 years. He's played 129 games and he's scored 16 goals. He's got a contract with Villa until 2025. Yeah, he's a midfielder and he's the age of 27, so highly experienced. McGinn is one of the best players Villa have got. McGinn didn't play any part in the 2-2 draw last weekend because he was suspended. Before Aston Villa, McGinn was at Hibernian, and before then he was at St Mirren. And obviously Man United have been relentlessly linked with Denis Zakaria from Borussia Mönchengladbach, and revert back to the other week, there was a lot of narratives coming out about Tariq Lamptey from Brighton. You know, it said Manchester United are interested in signing Brighton right back Tariq Lamptey. Ralf Rangnick is targeting a new right back at Manchester United. We've got 2 right backs so far. That's Diego Dalot. He's appeared to be our first choice right back under Rangnick, and we've also got Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He said Brighton value Lamptey at 40 million, but Man United only value him at 30. So reflecting on that, Man United are 10 million short of Brighton's valuation. Arsenal have been in for him as well. Lamptey's been a revelation for Brighton. He's been at Brighton for a couple of years now. He's got a contract with Brighton until 2025. Quite a lot of players are going to depart the club this year. There's a good chance Anthony Martial will be leaving, like I've mentioned numerous times. Edinson Cavani, he will leave Man United in the summer because the other week Ralf Rangnick revealed that Edinson Cavani wants to stay at Manchester United until the end of the season. Cavani's out of contract at Man United in the summer. Cavani had a couple of injuries earlier on this season. Manchester United got Cavani on a free transfer from PSG back in the summer of 2020. You know, Cavani's been linked with Barcelona. Last year it said Cavani agreed to join Barcelona on an 18-month contract. You know, Barcelona was seeing him as a replacement for Aguero because Aguero retired last year due to heart problems. Cavani's also been linked with Juventus, and last year Cavani rejected a move to Boca Juniors. Cavani has played the last few games. Juan Mata, he's also leaving the club this year. There's a good chance he'll be leaving this month. Juan Mata is refusing to sign a new contract ahead of a proposed move to La Liga. Apparently Juan Mata's father and agent had a meeting with Real Sociedad. Juan Mata's out of contract at Man United in the summer because revert back to last year, Man United extended Juan Mata's contract for a further year. You know, Juan Mata doesn't get in the team and he's aging up and he's lost that yard of pace, but despite that he's had a good career at Manchester United. You know, Mata has made over 200 appearances in all competitions. He's scored around 51 goals. He's been a Manchester United player for 8 years, so he's been a long-serving player. Man United got him from Chelsea back in 2014, paid around 37.1 million for him, brought him in under the David Moyes era. Back in 2020, Juan Mata rejected an 18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. Mamad Diallo, he's going out on loan. Jesse Lingard, he'll be leaving the club this year as well. You know, Lingard doesn't really get in the team. Donny van der Beek, yeah, he'll be leaving this year. I think he'll probably leave in the summer because it's said a few times that Van der Beek's not allowed to leave Man United this month. Oh, he remains keen on leaving Man United in this January transfer window. Earlier on in the season, Van der Beek held talks with Ralf Rangnick to discuss his future. I think Van der Beek's rejected a move to Newcastle. Well, it said the other week that Van der Beek had been offered out on loan to Newcastle and Borussia Dortmund. Van der Beek's only started, one game under Rangnick. He doesn't get enough opportunities under Rangnick, and he didn't get enough opportunities under Solskjaer, did he? Van der Beek's only scored 2 goals for the football club, and he's been a Manchester United player for over a year and a half now. You know, Man United got Van der Beek for 40 million with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year, and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Nemanja Matic, I think Man United will be offloading him as well this year. Matic isn't one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that, he still seems to get his opportunities. Matic is the only predominant centre defensive midfielder Man United have got. Earlier on this season had illness. I think he's out of contract in the summer. Matic has been at Man United for 5 years, got him from Chelsea back in 2017, paid £40 million for him. Paul Pogba, I think there's a good chance he'll be leaving in the summer transfer window. Pogba's out of contract at Man United in the summer. PSG are said to be interested. But before, Real Madrid have been relentlessly linked with him. His former club Juventus have been in for him. He did endure 4 good years at Juventus before he re-signed for Man United. You know, Barcelona have been linked with him before. So too have Inter Milan. So he's had a long-running transfer saga, like I say. By the way, we've had some positive news on Pogba. Like I updated you yesterday night, Paul Pogba was recently back in training. You know, Pogba has been out with a hip injury. Pogba could be back for the game against West Ham this weekend, I heard. But prior to the Villa game in the Cup, Rangnick provided us with an injury update on Pogba. He said Pogba is going to be out for at least another 4 weeks. Earlier on this season, Paul Pogba denied being offered a Man United contract, because the Sun said that Man United offered Paul Pogba a new £500,000 a week contract that would have made Pogba the highest paid player in Premier League history. This season is Pogba's 6th season at Man United since he rejoined. He's played 212 games since he rejoined. He's scored 38 times. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far. Man United paid £89 million for Pogba, so reflecting on that, he's our most expensive signing at the moment. Phil Jones and Eric Bailly, they'll be leaving the club this year. Do you think Diego Dalot could leave this year? And Man United need to get rid of Dean Henderson permanently. Obviously, yesterday I gave you the news on Bruno Fernandes. The Athletic said yesterday morning that Bruno Fernandes rejected a contract offer from Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes' contract talks are postponed until the summer, having turned down an offer last year. Bruno Fernandes wants similar money to the top earners. Fernandes receives £100,000 a week at the moment. Fernandes is under contract to Man United until 2025. There's an option of a further 12 months. You know, Fernandes scored both of Manchester United's goals in the 2-2 draw against Aston Villa last weekend. You know, the first goal from Fernandes came through an horrendous mistake from the Aston Villa goalkeeper Martinez, and the second goal from Fernandes came from a poor mistake from Morgan Sanson. But I've got to say, that game against Villa last weekend was the best game Fernandes has probably endured this season. Because Fernandes has been inconsistent in a lot of games this season. I thought Fernandes was far superior last season to how he has been so far this season. He's one of our best players, and he's certainly one of the best signings we made since Ferguson retired. He's been a Man United player for 2 years now, got him from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. Manchester United play Brentford tomorrow night. It's at the Brentford Community Stadium. It's at 8 o'clock kick-off. Don't forget, this game had to be rearranged. You know, Man United were supposed to be playing Brentford on Tuesday, the 14th of December last year, but the game got postponed because Man United were hit with a COVID outbreak. Obviously, Man United are coming into this game on the back of a 2-2 draw against Aston Villa. Man United threw a 2-goal lead away. Obviously, we are missing some players. Like I said, Marcus Rashford. He recently picked up a leg injury, but he should be okay to play in this game. I don't want him to play though, Rashford, because Rashford has been very, very poor since he had that operation on his shoulder. He just hasn't been the same player. He missed the first 2 months of the season with that shoulder problem. And the other week, Rangnick did admit that he doesn't know why Marcus Rashford is struggling, because he did say that Marcus Rashford looks good in training. Marcus Rashford prepares to open contract talks with Manchester United. You know, Rashford's got a year and a half left on his current £200,000 a week deal. Rashford's made 286 appearances for Man United in all competitions. Revert back to earlier on this season, reports from Spain said that Rashford could leave Man United. You know, it said Barcelona and PSG were said to be interested. But Rashford's been part of the club for a long time. He's been a United player since the age of 7, and he broke into our senior squad, was it, back in 2016. Cristiano Ronaldo, he's missed Manchester United's last 2 games. He's been out with a hip injury as Ronaldo. He should be available though for this game against Brentford tomorrow. You know, if Manchester United don't improve, then I think there's a good chance that Ronaldo will leave in the summer. Last week, Ronaldo gave an interview, and Ronaldo is backing Ralph Rangnick to do a good job at Manchester United. And Ronaldo said, "I'm not at Man United to compete for 6th or 7th." And Ronaldo said, "Finishing below 3rd is unacceptable." You know, Ronaldo was recently targeted by PSG, wasn't he? A few weeks ago now, was it, Ronaldo held crisis talks with his agent Jorge Mendes about his future. It did mention that Ronaldo's ready to leave Man United if the club's next manager isn't to his liking. You know, since Ronaldo re-signed for Man United, he's got, 14 goals in all competitions. He's got over 800 goals in his career. Man United re-signed Ronaldo last summer for 20 million with add-ons included. He wears a number 7 shirt. He's got a contract with Man United until 2023. There's an option of a further year. You know, Ronaldo receives around £480,000 a week, so he's the highest earner at Man United. He's won over 30 trophies in his playing career, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. He's the best player in the world overall. Paul Pogba's obviously still out, so he won't be playing any part tomorrow. And Wan-Bissaka's out with COVID. Eric Bailly, he's on international duty. Mad Diallo, he's on international duty. As for Brentford, they haven't done well recently. You know, Brentford have lost their last 2 league games. They lost last weekend to Liverpool 3-0. I do know quite a few of the players, you know, that Brentford have got. Brentford have got Sergi Canos. You know, he's a good midfielder. The best player Brentford have got is Ivan Toney. Don't forget, earlier on this season he had COVID. They've also got Max Haygarth, he's an attacking player. Tariki Fosu, he's another player Brentford have got. He's out with injury at the moment. They've got Brian Mbeumo, He's another good attacking player. They've got Marcus Forss as well. He's another attacking player. They've got Chandon Baptiste. They also have Christian Norgard. They've got Pontus Jansson. He's a defender. He's a former Leeds United player. They also have Finn Stevens, Joe Valencia. They've got Rico Henry. Rico Henry's just recovered from injury. They've got Charlie Goode. He's out with injury. Zanka. He's out with injury. Joshua De Silva. He's out with injury. They've got Ethan Pinnock as well. Frank Onyeka. He's at the African Cup of Nations, so he's not available for Brentford at the moment. So there you go. They are quite a few of the players that Brentford have. Let me put into the equation that Brentford lost Ollie Watkins and they also lost Ben Rama. Brentford are what's sitting 14th in the Premier League at the moment. This season has been their first ever season in the Premier League. Prior to this season, the last time Brentford were in the top flight was back in 1947. That's over 70 years ago. The manager of Brentford is Thomas Frank. His contract at Brentford expires next year. Thomas Frank's been Brentford manager for over 3 years now. Before he was the manager of Brentford, he was the Brentford assistant. Before then, he managed Brøndby. And before then, he managed Denmark's under-16s, under-17s and under-19s. After Brentford, Manchester United play West Ham. West Ham is this Saturday. But like I say, this is a must-win game against Brentford. Because Man United is sitting like, 7th in the league at the moment. We are, 5 points behind West Ham. I think with a couple of games in hand. On my next video, I'll be giving you my predicted 11 for this game. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop me comments, likes below on the channel if you do. Consider subscribe as always and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.